Not an easy decision with Lim raising under the gun. Looks like he's putting 3 betting chips together, though. Hand a little bit too weak to flat.
750,000.
King Jack suited's nice to have, though. You do have 2 blockers. You're blocking your opponent having ace king, kings, pocket jacks.
Lim being tested again by the New Jersey boy, and quickly puts chips in the middle to call. Quickly being underscored.
Heads up.
King Jack against nines. Nines are still good.
Check.
Check.
13.
Hate that flop. Hate that flop. David's thinking. $1.8 million in live earnings, about 200,000 from the World Series for David Coleman.
Coleman can choose to c-bet this small, hoping that she has overcards that she's willing to check fold. Not much for him here, though.
28-year-old looking at his lavenders.
$475.
575,000.
It's $575.
Yeah,
okay.
I literally can't see our clock at all.
So about 1/3 pot. It's going to get the bad news that she does have something.
Cool.
I don't even, you don't know how many minutes.
Coleman's
we have.
still with
It should
2
be like
overs.
13 minutes.
That's fine.
Because
There's not going to be. It
for
won't
some
matter.
reason they decided to
Another
schedule all the
10.
tournaments to have breaks at the same time.
Yeah, that seems silly.
And this is a card I would almost
Solid,
certainly shut down as Coleman.
Solid time management.
Gives him an excuse to shut down.
Yes.
So, Coleman starting the hand with less than half the stack as his current opponent.
Yeah, second barrel here would really just accomplish folding out spade draws. He just has a pot-sized
He
bet left
doesn't
behind,
want
too.
to check. He does not
Yeah.
want to check.
Sometimes you have to let the runouts dictate
Mhm.
your plan. He does check.
Check.
That is a welcome sight for Coleman, who now makes the best hand.
Check.
I think he should go for small value here. Even though his stack will be in a precarious position if she did end up having something like ace-king or king-queen. And maybe like 800K? Targeting all smaller pairs, some really sticky ace-highs.
Unfortunate run out for Lim.
Yeah, I think I would go for a small sizing here, like 1/3 pot or so, maybe a little bit less. You're really targeting those small pocket pairs, and I don't know how sticky she is as a player, but sometimes ace highs will call. Suggested 800.
Reaching for about $1 million, isn't he?
It's like
a
$1
little
million.
less.
Okay. This may get paid.
1,150,000.
Just slightly more than 1/3 pot.
Joseph counts it out.
I'm all in.
All in.
Whoa. Whoa.
Didn't know she had that muscle in her at this
Snap
moment.
all in. Just, I did not see this coming at all.
Coleman now being put to the test for his tournament life. How good is his read? How great is this move by Dragana Lim?
I mean, she's basically representing a 10. King's full. her hand selection would not be the one I would choose. Not nines with the 9 of spades. You want your opponent to have missed flush draws, but this is awesome. Just didn't see it coming at all.
Coleman left with less than 2 million, less than half the chip average. If he were to give this up, you want to get paid now? Take the risk? What a spot Lim has put him in.
You hate calling off your chips. Of course, the call right here, he would be correct.
You just don't see, I don't want to say inexperienced. She has some experience, but she's definitely not a high roller elite pro.
And they know that.
She's so comfortable in this spot. She does not look scared at all. You just wouldn't expect this. You could give him 20 guesses at her hand. He's never saying, oh, black 9s probably.
Rechecking his king jack. It is so difficult just to say, I call, when you have the chance of being knocked out at this stage of the main event.
This just makes me wish we were watching her table the whole entire event. Because she has been on a roller coaster, and she's done some gangster stuff like this to get to where she is.
Coleman taking his time, and it's well worth the time that he takes.
You know, he began this hand with 42 bigs. He still would have 18 left, 18 bigs left if he folds here. But that's not a comfortable stack.
Just thinking, what would she raise under the gun and then flat his 3-bet with? Was it a trap? Was it a hand like kings? Was it kind of a weak hand like ace-10, some ace-10 suiteds that would still love their hand by this river?
And it comes down to a guess. She is not a known factor.
And Scott Seaver once told me you got to add 5 to 10% spaz factor when people are playing a televised table. He said people just do wild things. Their bluffing frequencies may increase a little bit with the pressure.
He's kind of testing her right now as well to see how she holds up under his scrutiny this long.
She does not look scared to me. She's chilling.
Almost 3.5 minutes.
He's got to be wondering, is this ace-10, is this a boat? Is she also jamming ace-king and king-queen? Are there more hands that are beating him, or are the rest bluffs? Would she just be check calling ace-king, king-queen?
Third repeat in the last 2 minutes from David Coleman.
And he wasn't that deep, so you don't expect her to be set mining with deuces and threes. You don't expect her to be raising those under the gun and then calling a 3-bet with them. There are very few value hands here. Perhaps the king 10 suited's in her range.
Oh, man.
Time.
He was certainly value betting the king jack.
Floor.
The clock has been called. They're going to call the floor over.
Coleman now just about approaching the 5-minute mark of this decision.
Clock's been called. C4. Yes.
C3, by the way.
C3, sorry, C3. Yes.
Totally fair to be thinking this long, but I understand the clock at 5 minutes.
No, that's the George Chow graphic who thought for 9 minutes. Our truck having a little fun with
That's great.
the delay. That's a feature table. He took his time the other night.
her demeanor hasn't changed one bit during this 5 minutes. Like, she just looks so chill. I'm folding this king jack.
Oh, he called.
Calls. Wow.
Oh,
Sick.
and he's
Absolutely
got the
sick
king.
call.
Wow. How did he bring himself to that decision for his main event life?
Honestly, I think it's just the pot odds. You have to be correct in that fold just way too often. And I think he just said, you know what? I'm fine going out in a blaze of glory like this. Wow.
Well done by both.